All right, how to date your firehouse, and no, it is not what you're thinking. All right, this here is the earliest known photo, but if we take a look here, we can see that I don't know if we really can see the firehouse down there at all, but that would be where the firehouse will eventually be built. All right, here we are in 1921. This is the earliest known photo of the firehouse, and we can date this to 1921 for several reasons. In the 1921 minutes, they talk about the flagpole, the brackets that need to come in for the flagpole, and the flagpole in the front of the building, and that the electrical lines are interfering with the waving of the flagpole. So we can presume that this is what they are talking about. Obviously, they didn't have a CB radio on back then. This is an unknown barn. They do mention this barn when they talk about putting on the Strombos air horns. They mention attaching them to the top of the barn. All right. And I don't know what barn they're talking about, but I'm guessing that's the barn. All right. And you'll also notice on the top of the firehouse, there is nothing. There's nothing there. All right. And that'll come into play later on. And also, the doors here, the trim is white, and the doors are a darker color, presumably red, or I don't know. It's a darker color. And these doors will come more into play as we continue on. Other things to pay attention to as we move forward, we do have a telephone pole here and this light post. And oddly enough, for whatever reason, every picture I have of the firehouse, there's an open window in it. All right, so here is 1920s. All right, and if we look down here, we can see the firehouse. All right, there it is. We can see the doors are still darker. I'm not sure what this sign here may be, but we will see that again later on. And there's not much in the background here. The barn that we originally saw in the previous picture from when the firehouse was built is gone. So whatever that building was gone. And I don't know the dates of these vehicles, but presumably it was after the Strombos air horns went in 1922. All right, so here we are at the firehouse again. All right, and this is 1925, based on the trucks that are sitting here. You'll notice these doors here look to be a little bit lighter, and they do have writing on them. All right, and we do have this post over here that shows up again, and we do not see the flagpole that is attached to the top, but that could just be out of view. And also over here, and it may just be that it's not in this photo, but we do not see the storage shed that we will see later on. All right, and then in the background here we have a lot of trees. So that is that picture. All right, so here we come. This was 1928 or 1928 thereafter. We know that because in 1928 we put a siren on the roof, and there are the Strombos air horns. And I have the bill for that siren, so I do know it was 1928. It looks like the shed here has been built, but that sign that I thought I saw is gone, but I think it comes back again. So I may have to, now that I'm looking at this, we may have a slightly different order of photos again. All right. There are no remnants of that flagpole that was here in the front. That is gone. And in the back here, we do see the Ellis School has been built. Those other trees are gone. And interestingly enough, there is a little building here of unknownness. All right. And I think he shows up again. All right. And the doors, as we can see here, are white or light colored in paint. Oops. How do I level this thing off? All right, this photo here was taken in 1941, and I know that for a fact because it is on the cover of our 25th anniversary in 1941. We can see this shed that we didn't see originally. And we can still see the maybe just a little above it based on this angle, the LS School there. The the post is gone, the telephone pole is gone, all of that is gone. All right, but we still have our cupola and our air horns. All right, and our doors do appear to be light color white trim. All right, here we are in 1951. All right, and we know that based on some memberships of the people, and that's a 1951 MAC, maybe 52. The trees here are different. I don't see that little building. It could be washed out. But you'll notice that the interior doors of the firehouse here are not roll-up doors, but rather they come in from tracks from the middle out to the outside. So they hang on a track inside the firehouse, I presume, to close up. And you'll notice that this header here, right above the top, is not that big. We've increased the hinges on the doors, and our trim is still white. All right, this here is dated March of 1952, so that's probably when the other one was taken, because it's the same people, and the wind is blowing his tie. But they brought in another truck in here, and that is our 1934 Chevy off to the side. And again, it is kind of washed out, so we can't see exactly what's going on, but this is the same people, just with an extra truck. All right. So here we're in 1955-ish, and you'll notice what I haven't been able to tell is this here is a new siren. All right. And I'm going 1955-ish, but I could be later than that, and that's based on the age of these vehicles, because that is the siren that they will take off the building in 1964 and go onto the new building that will stay there till, 2000-ish. Between 1928 and before this picture was taken, we had a different siren, and that siren was purchased in 1946, 47. So I do not have a picture of the firehouse during that time. You'll notice that the cupola is off. The cupola that was here, with the air horns and the strombos air horns and the siren. All right, the cupola has been removed and a new siren is on. So the newest car here is a 1955, but I don't think that siren is that long. You'll notice now that the doors are white, and this header here is taller. So these doors have been switched from the going around on the track to roll-up style doors by this point in time. All right, here we are in 1955-ish, based on the age of the truck. We still do have this shed in the back, all right, and it does have signs on it that we'll see later on. And actually, I think this picture is printed backwards. But the door window is white, and it looks like the gutter is in good condition here. All right, so as we move on, all right, here we are in 1959 or later, because this is our 1959 Maxim here. There's been several other versions of this picture that is just showing this truck. and Al Safran directing traffic, and it's dated earlier. But I did find this picture, which is the same one, and it has our 1959 Maxim, so we know where that is. We do have a different building in the back here than we had before. We do have a parking sign, lots of trees, can't really see Ellis School, and that is our 1951 Mac that they are driving. All right, so here we are. We are in 1961 or later. Again, we're with our 1955 Mac. You'll notice that the doors now are distinctively a different color, but we do have ambulance above the front of it, so we know it needs to be after 1961. And this building here does appear to be completely different of some nature. It looks almost like a trolley stop or a bus stop, but I don't know why it would be all the way back there unless they were done with the trolley going through Westchester Pike and someone picked up a trolley stop for storing firewood in it. I'm not sure. The doors are white, the trim is red or a darker color, and that's 1961. All right, here we are at 1963. You'll notice that we do have ambulance above the door, and we now have the addition of Newtown Square Fire Company number 1 going across the top. We have our handy dandy siren, our antenna, our Strombos air horns, all right, and you can't see any of the shed there. And here on the signs, we are talking about Newtown Square Hardware Company, and does that say Duran Surveyor on it right there? That parking sign looks like the one that could have been behind, could have been that one there, just repurposed. I'm not sure. But they could have been identical signs. All right, so we move on. Again, oh no, because that sign is still there, so I guess they are. Here is the Firehouse decorated for Christmas again, 1963, 1964. The post office has arrived. Kitty City is here. 252 has been widened, but not open. We do have an addition onto the back of our Firehouse. And that is 1963-64. And here is just another picture from that. We can see that the paint is now officially red. Of course, the windows are open. It does have the lettering on the front and the word ambulance. All right, so this is 1964, I think. This is the Radnor Fire Company, and they are taking off or putting on the siren or the air horns or the antenna. I really don't know. You do notice it looks like the antennas are on the rear of the firehouse pointing towards Ellis, whereas here, I guess they still are pointing that way. They're on the back. It's just on the other side. So this is Radnor Fire Company doing something with our siren and door antenna, lending us a helping hand. And we do have our saggy gutter. Here's our saggy gutter. All right. So here we are at 1964. We still have this shed here. The doors are a darker color. And we're basing this based on Carl Ewing's Jeep here. And it looks like Vidian is open for business in the back there. And of course, lots of windows are open. And it looks like the word ambulance sign may have been taken down. The other thing that looks like it is now gone is here in the front of the firehouse where it had the name Newtown Square Fire Company number 1. Looks like it has been removed. All right, clearly there is no tent to the side, and there is no tent to the side, and our siren is still on the roof, and we move on. Here we are in 1964. This is just prior to being knocked down. we are in color. We do have our droopy gutter. This is the shed, the lumberyard shed in our addition. And there's nothing in the side yard here, except maybe a stolen shopping cart. All right, here we are. This is the one question that has brought this entire video together because I'm questioning what is going on. All right, so this is the firehouse. There's a tent. Everybody only remembers one tent that the fire trucks were stored in. All right, but they also say the tent was put up and it blew away and they didn't have a tent for a few months. So I'm not 100% sure what is going on. But if we notice here, the Newtown Square Fire Company is gone off of the front. All right, we do have our siren, our antenna, and our Strombos air horns. All right, and this is a 1963. Actually, this is Jack Monahan's 1963 Corvair, I think it is. So presumably that is Jack Monahan carrying something into the firehouse. And I have another shot of Jack's car, not in this series, but Susie and Jack are sitting right next to the car when they were opening up the time capsule. So, and of course, the windows are open. All right, here's another picture taken at about the same time. Jack is not here. We have the siren, the tent, and the doors, and windows open. And if you look, the windows look to be almost in the identical spot. So I'm guessing these pictures were taken at the same time. Maybe somebody went and moved all the cars to take them again. Again, I'm not sure. We do see the post office in the background. All right, so here we are. Siren is gone. Air horns are gone. Antenna is gone. Shed is gone. We do have a sign here, and that sign you will see throughout construction moving forward. It is still around. All right, there are some trucks parked on the side. There is no tent. All right. This here is similar to when that photo was taken, although slightly different. Actually, this picture was taken before. The siren is on the roof. The building has been knocked down, the shed over here, and of really, let me go back here and take a look. Yeah, no, because this picture was taken definitely before that. But you can see here, this is the temporary shed that the radios go in, and this is the Future Home and Newtown Square Fire Company sign, all right? And it does not appear if there's any tent, all right? And if I go back up here, there is no sign that says Future Home of the Newtown Square Fire Company. It's not there, all right? So here we are. Demolition Day, April 12th, 1965, down comes the building. All right, so, oops, I got that in there. Oh, I skipped up a little bit. I shouldn't have been there yet. All right, so if we're looking in here, all right, we can see the trucks are outside. All right, there's our Future Home of Newtown Square Fire Company. There is no siren. The siren is over here on a pole. You can see the little shed here that where they put the radio in, and there is no tent. All right. And here we are actually doing the demolition. All right. And again, no tent. Sign, no tent. All right. Sign, no tent. Sign, here's the construction trailer. All right, no tent. Construction set trailer, no tent. Tent. Here's the sign. There's the tent. There's the tower. There's the tower. There's the little shack that the um, radio went in. All right, this tent here looks decisively square. All right, this tent here looks like it could be round. Where's the other one? This one here looks like it could be round. So what is this tent for? I'm saying it had nothing to do with the temporary location, but I don't know. I'm looking for help. Let me know. And that is how you date your firehouse.